Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans! Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am Joe Panther III, and we are in the middle of West Coast Wrestling Month. And why not bring on this awesome lady? Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to my guest. Welcome to Dudes at Ringside.
Thank you so very much for having me. I'm from the East Coast. Happy West Coast Wrestling.
Did it again. I measured it, and then I've been watching The Bear, so it's like I measured it, and then I had a panic attack, and I just kept pouring.
It's all good.
I'm
here to start the feud between the East Coast and the West Coast.
You're doing it.
Really. I love the West Coast.
You're doing the rivalry between Biggie and Tupac again. Oh man,
bring it back.
Bring it back. Don't know how that
the wrestlers bring it back.
I don't know how that rivalry ended. Oh boy, yikes, yikes! The rivalry ended pretty bad for like. Bring it back. But yeah, so hey, Vinny, welcome.
Hi, Vinny. I love you.
My people, Vinny's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's got a Hawaiian shirt on. He's good.
I love that.
He's my number one fan. That's my big
Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
It's a cool shirt.
Like,
it's a really cool shirt.
Yes, he's my number one fan. Literally in person, he'll be like, I'm his number one fan. But we got to get him a t-shirt. We got to get him a Dudes at Ringside t-shirt.
Yeah.
So we're here for you. So no more Yappersville from Joe. So if you introduce yourself to my internationally known audience.
Hello, international audience. My name is Red Hot Charles Stunning. I am the burlesque bombshell.
Ooh, awesome. So, let's go to the beginning. Like, who trained you within the professional wrestling side of it?
I have trained most exclusively under the King of Chaos, Logan Black, at his school in Brooklyn, T2T. Some of my trainers there have been the incredible likes of Big Game Leroy, CPA, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, Red Hot Tracy Williams, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. I've been out at T2T in Brooklyn for 3 years now.
Wow, in Brooklyn, yeah. Brooklyn. My sister be like, "What?"
I love it. I love Brooklyn. I may be a Queens girly, but I love Brooklyn.
Now I know if I'm ever with my sister and I'd be able to hang out, I'm DMing you and be like, "Girl, are you available to have some pizza or just to chit?"
I am always down for pizza.
Ugh, there's some good ones out there. Like, what have you found in Brooklyn that are like a hidden gem, kind of like?
Oh boy.
I'm a foodie. I'm gonna talk about food a lot. You know that thing.
You'll have to forgive my processing power. Not to jump right into big events. I was in a car accident on Friday, and you asked me pizza places. I'm like, there's that one that's inside with the brick oven, and
I hope it's inside. That'd be a little odd.
I think it's called Norma's.
Norma's, okay. Norma's. What part of Brooklyn is this? My sister's gonna be
in like the Williamsburg Bushwick in between zone that they call East Williamsburg, but it's Bushwick. Okay. Like that area. There's another really, really good one. Nope, that's it. I got that. I've had a lot of really good pizza in Brooklyn, but I was hit by a car on Friday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh God, we don't want to talk about that because that's sad.
No, it's not sad. I'm here. But yeah, so do forgive me, international audience, if you watch my brain go in AOL dial-up time. I'm sure it's not the first time you've had someone who recently had a brain injury on this show. We're doing our best, wrestlers.
So before you were a wrestler, you said you were a burlesque dancer.
Yes, I was a burlesque dancer for about a decade.
Wow. So like I love music. So what was your song that your go-to song that you would that they either would give you because you tell you really got into it, or what was the song that it was like your favorite one to dance to all the time?
Oh, well, burlesque is an art form where you make a lot of different acts. So different songs, different costuming, different choreography, different themes. So there's not like burlesquers don't only have like that entrance song like wrestlers do.
Yeah.
But I always tend toward in my creative field doing something very, very silly. So one of my favorite acts I ever did was based on the cartoon The Venture Brothers.
Mm.
I don't know if you're familiar. A lot of what I did and was doing, and am hopefully going to start doing again, is sort of saddled in what is known as nerdlesque, which
Ooh.
in that realm of like pop culture references, silly stuff. But I did. If anyone knows the cartoon Venture Brothers, there's an episode where the Venture complex gets invaded, and their bodyguard Brock Samson defends the house completely naked. So I made an act based on this character who is voiced by Patrick Warburton, and I made it a very classic fan dance with a cigarette in my mouth, a pair of tube socks, and in place of typical pasties and a G-string, I did little censor bars because they did a censor bar as a joke in the episode. So just imagine me in a blonde mullet doing a fan dance.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
Got another awesome fan in the chat. It's my buddy, my pal, the Dave's Dimension.
Hello, Dave's Dimension. I love you.
He's a good guy. He comes on every once in a while on Ghost Head Nerd Talk. He has one of those cameras. Like if I move this way, it's like the opening for RoboCop when after Murphy. Sadly, it's horrible. R.I.P. At 30-something years since RoboCop came out. So like he would move this way and the camera would go this way, and if he moves this way, the camera moves this way, and if it goes this, it goes up. I'm just like
wow, very smart camera.
And like it's Murphy with ADD, and like if you go the right way, it goes that way, and then I'm like, his camera just went zoomy up. I'm like, wow, Murphy really got distracted. Never use the brain of someone with ADD. That's why I could never be RoboCop. So I'll be like, got to save this person. Ooh, she's nice looking. Let's ask her questions. No, Joe, you gotta go that way. Awesome. So when did you know that you wanted to be a wrestler? Because you were the burlesque dancer.
Yeah. So I'd been semi-retired for a couple years from burlesque. COVID was happening. It was going strong. But I had been podcasting at the time as a way to sort of like keep in contact with my friends, like stay up to date, make content, as it were. And one of my co-hosts, Scott Thomas, started saying to me, "Hey, Chuck, I think you'd really be into this television promotion called AEW." So I started like watching it.
Hey, Chuck.
Oh, there's a little. Oh, it's okay. A little feedback. I'm not worried. Oh, that's what I sound like. Oh, wow.
It sounds like when. Oh, man. There you go. Keep telling your story. That was just a little ad libbing on my side.
All good. All good. Yeah. So I started watching AEW and came to the grim realization that I was watching it like somebody who wanted to learn how to do it. I've always been a performer and a creative, a dancer, musician, burlesque dancer, actor, comedian, writer. And I've always just dove into things as soon as I was like, this looks interesting. That's exactly how I got into burlesque. I watched a burlesque show and I went, that looks interesting. I want to do it. So coming in with no real background or history with wrestling whatsoever, other than just like the general zeitgeist understanding that most people have, like who John Cena is and Stone Cold Steve Austin, he exists, and just came at it from the perspective of, I want to know how to accomplish this from a like creative standpoint, from a physical standpoint, from just a curious mind standpoint. So I found T2T and I signed up within, I don't know, 4 months of starting to watch AEW. And I have not looked back since.
That's cool. You just exclusively like you just do the AEW content. You don't go old school like watching like NWA or like all the old stuff.
I occasionally watch some of the older wrestling stuff. I'm really into Joshi. I think it fits sort of what I'm going for in the ring, sort of these like big characters, with very strong storytelling elements. So I'm digging in here and there. If anybody wants to send me matches to watch, I will watch anything. So I'm just sort of approaching it from a completely new place. I rarely know where to begin or what to watch. I definitely rely on the expertise of my friends and colleagues who are indoctrinated in wrestling to sort of drag me along in understanding what's going on.
Yeah. So, like, have you thought of wrestling in any other states, or have you just stayed in like the New York, like Brooklyn, Queens area?
I've wrestled in a couple different states, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts. So I'm doing the very typical early stages of the career of getting in cars, shaking hands, ring crewing, and occasionally getting that beautiful call up to the card, which is it feels like magic when it happens. You're like, really? Me? I will wrestle. I will do this. But I do a lot of Brooklyn based wrestling. Through the school and through a sister promotion with the school.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Again, a family member in Brooklyn. I'm ever like randomly like, hey Angela, there's a show we could go to when I'm here. No, can't stay on the couch and stare at the TV and pet the cat. Yes, I will.
Come watch us wrestle in Brooklyn. You can
I
go. You
will.
can come by yourself. It's a fun time.
I'd just take a train and just walk. Yeah, that's fine.
There you go. Easy.
Bring my suit jacket and just say anybody need a manager. If you have a pink jacket, I'm there. I'm like the Bobby the Brain Heenan. If you have a jacket for me, I wear. As long as
Very
it's
nice.
a large, medium or large. I don't have to. As long as I don't have to wear a dress or skirt. My legs are hairy, so I got muscular. Oh, my legs are not that hairy anymore. I used to have hairy legs. Yeah. I live in PA, but that'd be kind of cool to see some of my guests come into PA. Like
I've done commentary in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, okay. PPW
Yeah.
is in Slavington. They're good people also.
Yeah, I was at the collab between IWW and Wrestlers Lab.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, it was so fun. It was so many of my classmates on the card, so it was very nice to announce for them and hype them up and just get to be very vocal about how much I enjoy what my colleagues do. I love doing commentary. I wish I had more opportunities to get at it.
It's people think commentating is like really easy, like you're doing podcasting. It is not.
Yeah, it's really like it's very similar to hosting or emceeing or anything. Like the ethos should be in this position. It is my job to be the biggest fan of the wrestlers, even if that fandom comes at the space of this one's being really nasty. You're being very rude right now. Because like that is honoring and giving to our artists, our performers, our wrestlers, like the access point for everyone else to like agree that we feel this way. I think commentary is like the best thing for wrestling, just to like help get it across and make it a safe space to feel all the emotions that we should be feeling for our fighters.
Yeah. It's something, because I usually help at High Grounds, and they had me become the backstage interviewer, and people, I guess they thought, because doing this on a microphone, let's try to have Joe as ring announcer. I look like the deer as the truck hitting me. I was like, what? I could barely remember that I have to pull up my pants after I walk out of the bathroom. Just kidding. I'll do that. Dave's gonna be like, what? Like, no. But I don't know about you, but it wasn't set in stone. It was just Joe getting to a show thinking I was gonna be the backstage interviewer again. And then they go, oh, you're gonna be the ring announcer today.
I love ring announcing.
Baking powder. But I would have liked it a little more if I had a chance to prep and practice like the names and stuff like that. But it was cool. High Grounds Pro Wrestling, they're good people. Good.
Very cool.
Yeah, they do it in Mayfield, PA. That's like I ask the guys backstage and ask the owner, why do they call it the Famous? Is it Famous? Did they have Oh, that's a legendary nickname. It's just famous. And I'm like, for famous for what? It's not big. It's a tiny little hole in the wall. Backstage area. Just an entranceway and a little hallway and one room and an outside area to chill out and smoke cigarettes outside.
Hmm.
That's it. Oof. I don't know about you. Have you ever met like a backstage area that was like the worst?
No, but I haven't been in a lot of locker rooms at this point. And if I am at a show to like help and support, and I'm not on the card, I will not go backstage. It goes against my principles as a professional.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I really haven't experienced enough to know. All the locker rooms I've been in have been charming and pleasant
Well, no, I
and
don't mean
very.
like that. I mean like the size of the backstage area. That's what I mean.
Oh no, I come from burlesque. We used to use bathrooms as dressing rooms. Nothing phases me anymore.
Okay. Okay.
Like
I didn't mean
literally
that.
descend into a bar and go, we're going to take over one of the unisex bathrooms and all 5 of us are going to change in here. And we're
Yeah.
talking New York City bathrooms, tiny,
Oh
tiny,
yeah.
tiny affairs.
Oh
Yeah, no. So no, I'm very I'm very DIY. I'm very devil may care. There's room for more than 5 people in a space. That's heaven, baby.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
heaven.
I didn't want to make you think I was saying anything bad about backstage areas. I was like, no, 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 no. To quote my co-host on that other show I told you about, no, 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 wait, 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 wait. I didn't mean the bad way. I don't mean like backstage ruffins. I just meant like the backstage area being really small, like
Oh,
tiny.
no, because everything's in, like, a Knights of Columbus or, like, a recreational space, which are generally built with more room in mind, so I've only encountered very spacious locker rooms.
That's awesome because the last show well, the one in Scranton that they asked me to be the backstage interviewer, ring announcer. There was no backstage. I was behind the curtain, and it
Mm,
was free range, but there was nowhere. Like there was like a back of a bar, but it was just like But then Mayfield, there was one big room on the corner, a staircase to go down, hang out down there, or outside. Like if you were a smoker, you would be happy. But other than me, I just was sitting outside, sitting there like this. Should I be here?
mhm.
Like that's literally what I was saying.
Yeah, I just had the delight of being at ACW,
Ooh,
in Poughkeepsie, this weekend, and they did do the, connect down in the locker room area, so I did travel into that space just to be there, show face, make sure that, like, I could be of service in any way that I could, and that was glorious. It was just the whole basement, just lots of tables. ACW, my first time going there as a worker, I guess. And it was such a beautiful space and such a well put together show, like a television level on the indie scene. It was incredibly impressive. Really, really had such a good time at ACW on Friday.
oh, wow, awesome. So now let's get into your gear, like with like your wrestling gear.
Okay,
I
yeah,
love
my
it.
gear.
I
Okay,
love your
thank
gear.
you, thank you very much.
I always like watching your entrances with your gear. Is that more like the same kind of stuff you would have worn like certain times when you did burlesque, or is that
Hmm.
something that you just drew up as a
Uh,
style of the wrestling?
well, so different gear have different origins, but they all live in that continued burlesque mindset of being really lucky and finding something that works. The tutu that you actually see in the background there, I thrifted, weirdly
Ooh,
enough, and was just like, this is so cute. I love it. Like that's how I built most of my acts in the day, like finding things in thrifting, in going places. The pink and purple sparkly ball gown, also thrifted.
mm,
And the most recent, because I have a tendency to make my entrance gear a ball gown, or as I call it, a brawl gown,
mm,
because it is once again like in that ethos, that aesthetic of burlesque, where we are very, very well dressed, very formal, opera gloves, ball gowns, feather boas, fans, this like in even more heightened pageantry than the pageantry of wrestling. So a lot of what I have done for gear has been things that I have compiled through my skills of shopping. And sort of customizing what I find, adding rhinestones, making alterations, because in burlesque, you make your own costumes. And so I'm just very accustomed to making my own stuff. And that's sort of how I've been very lucky to find things that super like meet that Venn diagram of looking very glamorous, but also being wrestleable. But at the end of the day, as a burlesque wrestler, I could just wrestle in lingerie and no one would bat an eye because that's also part of the aesthetic.
Yeah. So when it comes to like your move set, do you find there's a variety of moves that you want to do, or that you haven't tried yet?
Oh boy. I mean, everything is brand new to me. And of course I'm still very dedicated to mastering those fundamentals. But a lot of the challenge for me is taking what is wrestling and making it something a little more risque, or a little bit more based in this understanding that like my sex appeal is a great weapon. So I'm taking moves like a monkey flip and modifying it, adding more of that burlesque to it. I am very delighted that I now have a German suplex in my arsenal.
Ooh.
I love suplexes. I think they're so neat and they're so scary. And I was like, I'm gonna get a German locked in. I think a German would be great.
All I can hear
So
is Taz going German from back in the day.
German. I love them. Just like a nice. I love as a burlesquer. I love a good hip hop.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
My bumps for a long time are different, but now I've mastered both bumps.
Yes. Haha. Bumps. Like they like this like with your like the moves, certain moves that you do in the ring, do you try to like in your mind make it more like, let's say like most wrestlers have like a style, like the Undertaker is like really stiff and dead man. Do you try to make it more like it's a burlesque dance because you take off the dress, and do you make it like there's a song in your head when you're moving around the ring? Is it like a move, like a dance
No,
move?
I'm there to win. But I will win by utilizing the most beautiful moves imaginable. I
But that's
think
what I mean.
I lean toward like what is aesthetically pleasing and powerful. I think that's why a German suplex is so interesting to me, because it is a very powerful move, but it's also a very beautiful move. You know, I'm trying to incorporate a lot of like my showgirl background, high kicks, yakuzas. I'm working very, very hard on mastering a fan kick lariat,
Ooh.
which is very exciting. Yeah, it's just my dance skill and all of that is so deeply ingrained in what I am bringing, and if I'm going to succeed in the ring, I'm going to succeed utilizing that skill set. So I definitely come from like some people are like I come from a combat sport background. I come from a dance and burlesque background. So that is where my heart lies when it comes to mastering things to get me the win.
Yeah. Is there any wrestlers that you've been wanting to wrestle on the scene?
Oh my
That you
gosh, I
haven't had?
am literally every day I pray to the universe that I will get to fight Gabby Forza.
Mm.
I simply adore Gabby Forza as a human, as a wrestler, as just like a character that I would be so delighted to play with in the like I think she's just tops. Yeah, so please let me fight Gabby Forza.
If you wanna solo yourself right now, I easily do like this. Watch this. Where? Oh
Hello?
no, it's a joke. I was like,
Oh.
have you do a solo act and just be like, so if you want to talk to Gabby herself, like that.
Oh, no. It's okay. Gabby already knows how desperately I wish to fight her. I'm not afraid to tell people how much I want to fight them when I see
No,
them.
I mean, I didn't mean that in a bad way. Again, I always usually do that for guests if they want to call somebody out and be like, let's see if you want to do it. No, not today, Satan.
Oh, yeah, no. I would just say, hi, Gabby. I love you. Let's fight, please.
Yay! Let's fight.
Let's fight.
I don't know how we did it back in the day. All the girls would do this, and then the hearts would come out of their hands, or if they do this, that the fireworks would go off. And I'm like,
That's cute.
only the guest screen would do this, and then fireworks would go off. Let's see,
Yeah.
test it. Thumbs up. Do a thumbs up.
I think my blur background might.
No, didn't work. It womp womp.
Womp.
Are there any other like outfits that you're thinking about doing that you have it on paper that you haven't put together yet?
It's really not so much like an outfit per se, but it is sort of, again, getting to the place where something looks very showgirly, but functions very, very much for wrestling. Because a lot of things that one would wear in burlesque would not survive a wrestling match. You know, like seams are too delicate, fabrics are too nice. You know, not to say that the fabrics of wrestling are not nice. Like, I think there are very beautiful fabric pieces that exist, but it's really something that is delicate and strong to wear. So it's really just, for me, been a lot of experimentation, like wearing something in the ring and going like, oh, something about this element actually doesn't work. We're gonna have to like make an alteration, or you know, so like every piece that I bring into the ring is going to consistently be a work in progress. I know how to sew, I know how to alter, so I can start building things. I do have a desire to get something that is exactly built to the specifications of turning a match into a burlesque number with strong escapes. But that is for a future Charles, who has sold millions of dollars of merch. But there are a lot of artists who make burlesque gear that I think would be up to the challenge of what I'm asking for. And it's just a matter of making sure that I have the capacity to compensate them adequately for their work and their time and their talent. Because
it must cost you a lot. So you're not gonna go into detail on how much it costs you, but it must cost you a pretty penny, because those outfits look, as you said, you did the skirt. So like, are there some outfits that you've seen that you're like, oh my gosh, those look so cool, but look how much they cost. Jeez.
Oh yeah, there's one maker who I've actually commissioned before, who made a beautiful set of cupcake pasties for me many, many years ago. Oh my gosh, I feel like I should definitely look her up and give her a shout out. Don't mind me, I'm going to the Google machine.
Yay, Google. Hey,
Yay, we love the
that
Google
keeps
machine.
YouTube alive too. So Google's cool.
Yeah.
And you could show you could show it, as long as there's no music. You could show
No.
some designs or anything that you're looking at. You know, there's a girl that I work with on Mondays in a different universe, but it is nerd culture, and she does that what you're doing all the time.
Yeah. The artist, if you want to look their stuff up, is Canova_studio on Instagram. A dear friend of mine, a burlesque colleague from many, many years ago, has actually made pieces for Beyonce. I do believe they rhinestoned Charlotte Flair's WrestleMania outfit. So
wow.
They're definitely a person that I would love to work with. But their work is so beautiful, and it would be such a labor of love between the two of us to make something together. But that is definitely a dream designer that I would absolutely go bananas to work with.
It like, when it comes to like merch, like my fans want to pick up anything of yours. Do you have any merch?
I do. I actually very recently just got a Brainbuster Tees store, which is super neat. It has a wonderful design made by my friend Thomas, sort of aping. Oh gosh, this car accident is gonna get me. This wrestler, it's fine. My memory is it's doing great. But yeah, it's a really cool design where like I'm an illustration leaning on the letters of my name. And I also have physical merch for when I make appearances. I have lighters and stickers, 8x10, the typical stuff. But I'm very excited for that Brainbuster Tees store. I will be dropping more designs soon. And that's you're the first person that's heard about that, because I keep forgetting that I have a Brainbuster Tees store, and I need to let the world know. So world premiere.
When you finally get the graphic up, has all the t-shirts and everything, when you
Mhm.
post it on your Instagram page, don't forget the collab with Dudes At Ringside. I just had 2 wrestlers from England do that for me. They collabed, and I had it pop up on my Instagram page, and my fans see it all the time. So when they go on the feed, they'll see it. So
Cool. Yeah, yeah,
mhm,
yeah. Would
I
it
love
be
that.
okay to drop the link in the chat right now?
Yes, yes. Give me in the private chat, and I'll put it in the chat.
Perfect. Very exciting.
Yes, I love helping you guys out, and it
Yeah.
means the world.
Is that
I
me?
know
Wait, did I do
it
that
makes me
correctly?
happy that you guys are getting
Oh,
getting.
no, that's not the right link. I'm not doing great today.
Oh, the one you sent me is not the right one.
No, that's just Brainbuster T's website. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Oh no!
I was hit by a car on Friday. We're doing our best.
Oh God, girl, I'm so sorry to hear
I'm
about
doing
that.
great. No,
I feel
it's
bad. I
literally
don't want you
please
to like.
don't. I've honestly, I think that's it. That's the one that has my name in the URL. That's the one you should use.
Got it. I'm the type of person that that everybody's like, Joe, she's fine. Are you sure? That
I promise I'm fine. Like I said, some of my functioning is running at an AOL dial-up speed, and that's it. I'll
oh
figure it
my.
out eventually.
You mean it's funny? I just finished watching Rugrats All Grown Up, and
Oh,
like
what a show.
that one was cute. All grown up.
Yeah, I was such a diehard for the OG Rugrats that I could not accept them as preteens. I was like, no, these are perma babies. We can't.
Tommy has purple hair, like his dad. He looks like his dad. He became a he became a videographer, huh? Future porn director. That's all I can think. Tommy, like, well,
Well,
like Chucky's just paranoid as always. Like, give that kid some CBD. Like, calm down, Chucky. Bill and Lil, look at Lil. She's looking a little preteen with that little jeans with the skirt over it. I was like, girl, just put the skirt off and wear like jeans. Wear
mm,
dress normal a little bit. Like Angelica's like being all like, I can't. I couldn't watch. I watched the full thing. The last episode made me mad because it didn't show them going to college. Didn't show them going to middle school. They were in middle school, right? Weren't they in middle school?
they
I
were
can't.
like preteens, I do believe.
Yeah. So like they should have had them getting to about. They should have ended this. It was only 5 seasons, and I asked Google.
Mhm.
I asked the Google machine why all the Nickelodeon shows we watched as kids had 5 seasons because I guess they were losing the audience about that time.
Yeah, because kids grow up and like
Yeah.
tastes in animation change with each sort of like generation that goes by.
Yeah.
Like I don't think the children today would be as into Ren and Stimpy as like I was.
Oh, they would have been canceled because the way Ren and Stimpy were doing all the weird shit they did.
Yeah,
But
I feel like Ren and Stimpy informs a lot of what I am as an artist.
and it's weird because I also finished watching Clarissa Explains It All.
Oh, I was obsessed. I met Melissa Joan Hart at a con once, and it
Oh
was the
God, that would have been
greatest
so
day of my
cool.
life. Just truly
Is she
formative,
nice?
formative. Very sweet individual. Yeah, so nice. Took a picture with me, had a great time, nice little
She loves
chat.
wrestling. She's a wrestling freak. She
Oh, well, I
loves
was not a
wrestling.
wrestler at the time, but what's
She
up?
probably would have said, "I want a sticker. I want to know when you're wrestling." I would
Yeah,
have been like,
well,
my
I was
favorite thing
still
about the
quite young at the time. I
my
did.
favorite thing about that whole show is like, oh, cool, she's doing all those crazy outfits she used to wear, and then all I can think is teen adult Joe's going, what parents are letting a teen boy walk in some girl's window? Like, Sam, are you really hanging out with her, or is it just you sneaking in? How does she lock that window at night? like
I'm pretty
really?
sure if there's a giant ladder in the yard, the parents have an understanding that that ladder is there for a reason.
Yeah,
I'm sure they had scenes where the parents came in and they were all in there. I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
I think they did. Yeah, they did. He did. Hey,
Yeah.
Sam, how you doing? The dad's like, my dad was so mellow. Like my dad's a
Yeah.
CO. He would have been like, yo, Sam, you need to use the front door. Opposite world. Instead of Clarissa, it's Joe. My face like that'll be my intro. Dun, dun, dun. It's like dun dun dun. turning too much. My neck hurts. Ugh, I'm
Oh, I'm
40.
so sorry.
That'll be me. Ow, my neck turning too much. I had a long day. Long day podcasting. Ugh.
Hmm.
So worth it. Two British people in a tag team. I was supposed to be one guy, and then he said, "Can I bring my tag team partner?" And I was like, "I'm all for it." This podcast is
Yeah, the more the
accepting to
merrier.
everybody. I interview people that are trans. I interview people that are gay, lesbian. I do it to ringside. We have the triversity flag in the imaginary outside the building, so we accept everybody.
Very nice. That's very important, especially in sort of like the history and the climate of the wrestling culture being not very accepting or kind. I think every effort we make in our community today toward that embrace of diversity and inclusion for folks is such a good step forward. Definitely like breaking those generational cycles. That a lot of our veterans and our elder colleagues sort of had to suffer through, and watching, especially like, and not to come back to my school, but to sort of come to Logan and watch him embrace and be such a supportive mentor, with a deep ethos in wrestling is for all people and everyone should feel safe and feel included in all that we do. It's just been I don't think a version of me 10 years ago would have felt confident coming into the wrestling world because of that sort of exclusionary like culture. But I think that great strides are being made through the efforts of every single one of us toward a more equitable wrestling community.
Yeah, that's definite. So, do you also wrestle men, or you just wrestle women?
Yes, I love intergender wrestling. I personally think that intergender wrestling should be more the standard. Uh, I know some people have sort of regards about this idea of like men hitting women or whatever. But I think we none of us get mad when Scarlet Witch gets hit by Thanos. Like we're looking at
Yeah.
larger than life characters here. There's a certain level of willing suspension of disbelief that we were all agreeing to, and I sometimes wonder if sort of everyone thinking against making intergender wrestling is less about inclusion and more about continuing to perpetuate the gender binary. I, for instance, am non-binary, so I do not necessarily like. I obviously understand that I was assigned female at birth, but I think that my gender identity means I should be able to fight anyone and everyone.
Yeah, doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who you like. That's why I feel like with this podcast, it's not just from. I guess I I get a lot of women. If you notice, if you watch a lot of my episodes, and the guys are like, "Oh, why do you interview more women than men?" Dude, the guys don't really answer their messages. The girls, they're like, "Oh, someone wants to talk to us. Okay, hey, where are you from?" Boom,
Yeah,
interview.
and I think visibility for femmes in wrestling is incredibly important. Like again, sort of like the culture still has a long way to go. There are generally very fewer spots for women in wrestling on cards.
Yep.
So, I think any opportunity that we have as femmes to be visible and be like, we are here and we are wrestlers and we are talented and we are strong and we are just as magnificent as our masculine colleagues. So I definitely see the push and the merit of it because acceptance comes from visibility.
Even my human side says appreciates that. See, yep, that's my other side of me, my kayfabe Joe. That's my real life me saying, yep,
Oh, very nice.
yep. That's the proud face with the tear. Yes, yes. Because I've seen the
We
shows
love
that there's no
some
women's
finger
match,
guns.
and it's odd. I find it odd.
Yep.
No women's match. They're all there, but they're not trained as wrestlers. They're managers, and I'm like, what? Wait, what the hellies? What the hells? Like, get it. If she took a bump, she should be able to do a match against a guy unless she's super paranoid of it.
Yeah, there are so many talented women and femme wrestlers based out of my school. We're a very heavily like femme school, and my colleagues are so incredible. Brianna Bands, Nikki Winters, Sassy Boatwright,
I
Lady
love
Killjoy.
Sassy.
Like they all just like have such skills and such talents, and I'm always so excited to see them out there putting the work in, getting their matches, showing everyone else what iconic individuals they are.
I love
So
Zazzy. You give her a big hug when you see her. I love
I
Zazzy
will.
Boatwright. I saw
Yeah.
her, I met her for the first time in Slatington at PPW, and I had a funny joke when I met her because Zazzy is funny. She's a goofy woman like me. I was like, Zazzy, and she's like, yeah. And I was like, me Joe. And she's like, I know. And I'm like, I got legs, and she's like, I can tell.
Mhm.
I was like, not really long ones. She was like, no, maybe not. No, you're short. I'm like, but yeah, she's good people. Like if my fans, and if any of my fans want to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
Oh, yes. I am on Instagram at Charles Stunning, no spaces. So just what you see spelled right here in my little lower. You will find me there. I do believe I am also on Blue Sky and Twitter. But you'll most exclusively find me over on Instagram because of the visual element of it and the videos and stuff. That's sort of where I base my presence.
Awesome. I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
It was a delight. Thank you for having me.
I am Joe Panther the Third,
I am Red Hot Charles Stunning.
and we will catch you in the next one.